Hello and welcome to MSTV. I am Apurva Jha and you are watching our program Rubaru. Today in Rubaru, we are going to meet Saran Bhatia. He is an architect urban designer. He is an interior graphic art and landscape consultant. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
I'm absolutely doing fine, and it's a wonderful place to be interviewed at.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. So, as an urban designer, what inspired you to choose this field and how has been the journey till here?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. I think, I did my architecture prior to urban design,
Mm-hmm.
and, architecture is where we deal with small houses, small colonies, and urban design is something where we take a city as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a huge scale difference.
Yeah.
And after doing my urban design, I went to my Guruji, you know, and I seeked his blessings. And he asked me, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to start my own practice." He says, "Then tab to masters karna hi padega."
Yeah.
So ever since, I did a break. I took 2 years working experience with Mr. Rajwal after doing my bachelor's in
Mm-hmm.
architecture from School of Planning and Architecture. And then I went on for my master's, cleared the test, and here I am, an urban designer, trying to practice it.
Yeah. So, like, how has been the concept of urban designer has arrived in the market? Because we know as a layman, we can say architect means the person who is doing all these things. But what is urban designer?
Okay, so as an architect, I'm maybe just doing a house or maybe group of buildings, but for an urban designer, my assessment is done by the person who's walking on the street.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at my work and he makes an assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very inclusive experience,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody becomes a client.
Ah, great.
So that's the major difference.
Yeah, great. So now the problem with cities is pollution and population. Overcrowding is a huge problem. So how do you tackle these problem with your designs?
I think population is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Population is an asset because we have more minds at
Yeah.
work. Okay, so we can make use of collective wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and that way I think we are better off.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, pollution is a problem
Mm-hmm.
because if we are not breathing the right kind of air,
Mm-hmm.
it contaminates our body. We become toxic. It's just like, in a computer,
Yeah.
you have a virus and then the computer misbehaves.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, if you are breathing the air which is not right,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't have the right, let's say, ingredients, it's polluted, it'll affect your medical system and you will not be to your optimum performance.
Yeah.
So it's very important that air, water, quality, all the basics things of life, they have to be just perfect.
Yeah. But I understood that population is not problem because we are having if large population, large thinking minds, but overcrowding is a problem, is indeed a problem. Then how to
Yeah,
tackle?
so then you have to regulate, the population. You have to decentralize so that, the populations are housed in proper spaces
Mm-hmm.
and you don't feel that crowding on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a way out. So the answer is from urban design, good urban design. We can take care of these things.
Okay. So
Yes.
do you teach also
Oh,
in this
yes, absolutely.
universities or
Teaching is my
colleges?
passion. I give talks, I go for juries,
Mm-hmm.
I come for talk shows like this, and I also participate in radio chats and I
Mm-hmm.
reach out to people through LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And today, world is my canvas.
Yeah, it is, and especially the technological advancement has made it very easier for that. For
Absolutely, absolutely. The technological advancement and the artificial intelligence, I think it's
yeah.
taken a big toll. Yes.
So, how artificial intelligence is shaping anything, shaping the things or the job problems in your field?
You see, the advantage with the artificial intelligence
Mm-hmm.
is that the job which requires maybe 5 days or 6 days or maybe a month can be
Mm-hmm.
finished in a day
Yeah,
or maybe even less than that.
yeah.
So but then you have to know how to make the correct use of AI. Because AI is also something which we have created.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
whatever we have done, it comes back to us. So we have to just see that we give the right commands to get the proper results out of it. And yes, I don't think so it has affected the market in any way. It will only transform the market. We'll all become, AI, efficient people.
So, what do you like the most, working on the field or teaching students?
Working on the field, obviously, and teaching students, obviously. I mean, it's a difficult question. You like both of them,
Yeah,
but then, working on the ground is the most important thing where, make all the difference comes there.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So, you are working in architecture, interiors, landscape.
Yes.
So, how do you maintain the creativity and practicality? How do you maintain the balance between them?
You see, any place is incomplete without all the professions, all the things which you mentioned.
Yeah.
The architecture exists with surroundings, exists with landscape, exists with the inside a room if we are exists with the interiors.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a combination of everything which makes all the difference. So you have to see that you have to see this in a very holistic manner. You can't isolate one from the other. Everything is interconnected.
So, what type of like you are an urban designer,
Yeah.
but do you feel that the vintage collection that people uh, go for and the people are opting for, you should work for that also, or you are totally into urban designing and working for urban designing?
Absolutely, we should go in for vintage collection. It's part of our heritage.
Yeah.
Even I was at one point of time a collector of these, vintage cars and vintage motorcycles, and I have them also.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think now that you can't use them because the policies have changed,
Yeah,
so you can
exactly.
only use when there are any rallies. But then we have to respect our heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So give due respect to whatever was created and which is, vintage. It has its own place in value, and we must respect that. And but we have to move with times.
So, what was your like favorite work you have been done till now?
See, my thesis was on Jodhpur,
Mm-hmm.
urban design thesis I'm talking about, which is the master's thesis from
Mm-hmm.
School of Planning and Architecture. So there I did a stretch which connects the the old city with the new city, which is Nai Sadak stretch.
Yeah.
Okay, and it ends up in a clock tower.
Mm-hmm.
So that stretch was my thesis,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to revive that. And I recently met the Maharaja of Jodhpur, Gatchinji,
Mm-hmm.
and we are working on that with the help of Intac.
Oh,
Hopefully, I think
great.
that project will get realized.
Great, great.
So that's one of the favorite ones. But then, of course, as I said, right now I'm connected with most of the people all across the globe because I'm running this campaign called Lifeline Ra, which is to promote walkable cities all across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to bring this change all across the globe, that there should be no city which is not walkable.
Great. So this is the favorite work of yours till now. Right.
Yeah, but I would always say all my works are
Yeah,
favorite.
obviously you are an artist. For you,
Yes.
your work, a piece of works are your babies. You love all of them.
Yes, and the most favorite work I would say is to create better worldliness.
Yeah,
If you are able to put a smile on everybody's face, there can be nothing better than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in India, urbanization has taken a rapid speed, if we say, and villages are just they are getting lesser, and urban cities are growing. So what kind of change you want to see when it comes to urban planning and urbanization? Because there are many cities we see and many plans we see which we consider them as failed planning, and we can take examples of Noida and Gurgaon also, because when monsoon comes and we just say कि ये तो fail urban planning है. So what do you think, what
आपने
should be?
आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा ये. I would agree with you. See, the problem here is what I've seen, people are blindly following the West.
Yeah.
If they want to make a building, they want to have a glass facade. Okay. Now, glass facade,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a building with a glass facade, all the heat is going to come in.
Yeah.
Ours is a very different climate.
Yeah. Tropical. We are of
Yes.
tropical.
So we require shading devices
Yeah.
rather than glass facades. उसके साथ एक और प्रॉब्लम होती है, वो बर्ड्स जो होती हैं उसको हिट करती हैं और गिर जाती हैं.
Yeah.
So we lose that also. So we have to see, what our climate wants. Accordingly, we have to
Exactly.
design our cities and buildings. So that sensitivity is very, very important. I mean, I'm not saying that West is not good. West is good in their own way because they want the heat to come in. Now
Yeah, and
here we
our
want,
climatic condition, our
yes,
geography is different.
absolutely,
That's
absolutely,
why traditionally our houses were also different.
absolutely.
They always they built different.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
why.
And you must have cross ventilation,
Yeah,
always have fresh air. And then if you rely on AC, it's not going to really help. No,
yeah,
it's only going to add to global warming,
yeah.
which you see happening all over
So
right
we
now.
can say apart from fashion and food and culture, people are getting westernized when it comes to urban planning also.
You know, getting westernized is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
You today, everybody is a global citizen.
but we know what we
Yes,
need to adapt and what we
yes,
don't
we
need.
should be rooted to what our culture demands.
Yeah, and our
That's
geography demand.
as our geography demands. And yes, we are global citizens. We must respect West also. We must respect East also.
Yeah,
And it's a marriage of both. And we
yeah,
have to see what works for us.
yeah. So being an architect, what would be a best future you see in your eyes?
I think if we are able to make people walk on the roads, not roads, footpaths, sidewalks, rather than using metal boxes, which
Mm-hmm.
only adds to, noise pollution and air pollution and
Mm-hmm.
carbon footprint also. I think we are able to have that vibrance in our streets where people enjoy looking at the city around, enjoy talking to each other, enjoy making more friends, you know,
Yeah.
and more activities happening on the streets. I think that is the vision I have, and that is the world I'm looking for.
So, what would you like to give a piece of advice to the younger generation of architects, younger generation of urban designers?
I think use your own mind, listen to everyone, but use your own mind and try to visualize, whatever vision you have, try to visualize that and see how it works and share your ideas with others. It's
Yeah.
very important that we work as a think tank and talk to each other and gain from each other, like what we are doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time and thank you for your wonderful insights.
I'm so happy that you had put some very interesting questions, and I look forward to more such interviews in future. And I'm sure in times to come, we will be doing good work all
Yeah.
across the globe.
Yeah, yeah, and surely we are going to sit again and we are going to have more questions and more conversation.
Thank you so much for
Thank you, sir.
having me.
So this was Saran Bhatia with us at Rubaru MSTV. For more updates, keep watching MSTV. I am Apurva Jha. Thank you.